I will allow you to come next week
Yeah.
to show yourself, not to show me.
Yeah.
To show yourself that the narration doesn't talk about it. Number one. So can you please explain to me the verse in Jeremiah chapter 7 verse 21 where it says that God is a deceiver?
No, because you won't listen to good
you don't
manners.
have to.
Not with you.
You mustn't have etiquette.
Because you're a deceiver.
You mustn't have
You're a
manners.
deceiver. No. He's making a narrative.
He's getting
He's making a
uncomfortable.
story.
You come with references on your phone ready to have this discussion, which is fine. No problem with that.
You didn't have it.
No, because I told you from the very start.
You're standing in front of a
Can I
dawah
just finish?
placard,
Can I just
and
finish?
you're supposed to give
Can I
dawah,
just
and you
finish?
can't even answer a question.
I couldn't.
And you didn't even
I
answer a
accept that.
question.
I accept
And
that.
when a
Hold on,
woman
hold on.
showed him
Hold
the
on,
evidence
hold on,
in the
hold on.
Sahih Muslim,
Hold on a
he
second.
wouldn't accept it.
Hold on a
He
second.
called her names.
No,
he slagged
no,
her off.
no,
he wouldn't
no,
respect
no,
her.
no.
And he's saying that she disrespected him.
refuse to
She didn't
talk.
disrespect him.
I refuse
No,
to talk.
brother.
I
You are a
refuse-
deceiver and a liar, and I'm telling you to your
Fine.
face.
I
No.
refuse to talk to
I'm not.
people.
But I've got to tell him
I
to his face. He
refuse-
needs to hear it.
I
He's full of his
refuse.
own, and I don't want to say
I
the English
refuse
words,
to
but he's
talk to-
full of it.
I
because
refuse to talk
he's
to people.
coming here
Now
as
he's
if
getting
he's the
defensive.
gentleman. He's the one
You see how he's
who
reacting?
slagged off a woman.
You know
He
why he's
wouldn't
reacting
answer her
like this?
questions. He wouldn't
Because
answer.
the matter is closed.
And now he's preaching as if he's
The issue is,
we need to speak
I
like
will
this.
not speak to
All
Hatu.
I've done, I've repeated the question to this brother.
Listen to me.
3 times.
You've had a
three
good
times
speech.
he's twisted it.
Right, hold on a second.
Brothers,
Hold on a second.
brothers,
Listen.
brothers,
come with an
brothers.
argument.
I showed you the evidence I had, and I said next week I will bring the evidence.
Okay, so he's on
No,
camera.
I'm not denying it.
He's on camera.
I haven't denied
He's on
anything,
camera
brother.
next week, he'll
I'm
bring
not
the
running.
references.
I'm not
If the
Mansour.
brother
I'm
is
not
here-
Hashim.
Okay.
I don't run like a rabbit. Right? I'm in front of your
name?
lights.
What's your name? Sorry.
Andy.
Andy will come next week.
Next week,
And
we
he's
will look at
going
it.
to provide the evidence.
Yeah.
But what I would say to people that come to the park and make these accusations
Oh, here we go.
is at least
What
provide.
we would say to the people that come to this
know,
park to give dawah,
the Quran-
that they should know their
the
Quran,
Quran-
they should
the
know
Quran-
their
the
hadith,
Quran-
because there's not that many questions
Tens-
that are asked.
tens-
Each week there's a handful of questions that are asked.
Okay.
This brother, with respect, should at least know this. This comes up every year. Every year, if you look, every year, if you look at Speaker's Corner,
let him speak.
if you look at Speaker's
Let him
Corner,
speak.
these questions come up, and you should know it.
You have to let him let it out.
Okay, have you finished?
Sure. Can
But
I
then this
speak?
brother took over.
Have
Can
you
I speak
finished?
in the end?
No, I simply said that if you're going to have a discussion,
Ignore
And-
me,
and
ignore
if-
me.
if you're gonna have-
Always
No, I'm
ignore
telling
me.
him wait because he's the
if you-
battle happening here.
All
It's
I'm,
not okay,
all
isn't
I'm
it?
saying to you, what I'm saying to you is, if you have a discussion, provide. The Quran says something very beautiful in there. If you speak the truth, what does it say? Provide your evidence. You have to provide evidence. You come and make all sorts of claims. Provide your evidence.
Brothers,
Anyway, you're
and
prepared to do it
sisters
next
listening.
week.
We're
You're
gonna
going
do
to
it next week,
Andy.
Next week,
Wonderful
he says.
thing he
We'll wait
said.
for you next week.
So when a man or a woman comes to a Muslim
Here
and
we go
says,
again.
"Can you explain
Here we
this
go again.
breast-sucking incident where the hadiths were under, where the Quranic verses were under Aisha's pillow and a tame sheep ate it? Can you explain this?" Instead of him explaining it, he started slagging off the woman. He wouldn't talk to her,
won't
and he
talk
went
to her,
on and on. And for
won't
2
talk to her,
hours now, he still hasn't given an
I
answer.
won't talk
so
to her.
this is the way we answer people, and with
This
respect.
just shows how disingenuous.
No,
Can I-
you,
let me
brother,
say
you
something.
don't
Give me something
understand.
in
Anyway,
there.
You.
let the brother come
Can
back.
I say something in the
Spoken to
end? Can I say
people
something?
calmly.
Let the brother
I'll
come
finish.
back.
I'll finish quickly. Yeah. The verse about eating from the sheep has no relationship with this
That's what I'm
incident.
trying to explain to you.
Has no relationship with this
Okay,
incident.
right.
You confuse both of them.
Okay.
But I will allow you to come next week
Yeah.
to show yourself, not to show me.
Yeah.
To show yourself that the narration doesn't talk about it. Number one. Number two is a weak narration. Even it's not authentic narration, and I will show you the evidence for
You
that.
see,
Wait,
brothers?
wait,
You see,
let me
brothers?
finish a sentence, please.
Everything-
And I will show you the evidence
when
for
it
that
suits them
next week.
Is weak.
You bring
Everything
it. You
is
bring
weak when
it.
suits
You
them.
bring a strong
But
narration.
when it's
You bring it.
strong-
You bring it.
Ah,
You
look what
please
the
bring
Quran
it.
says.
Yeah.
You can't
Let me finish.
have it both
Let me finish.
ways.
Let me finish.
Either Muslim
Sure,
is
sure.
solid
Sure, sure.
and
Look,
Bukhari.
look, you're an
You
old
can't
uncle. Look,
have it
listen.
both ways,
You
brother.
are an old
No,
uncle.
it's
I have to
irrelevant.
respect you. Look,
No,
I have to respect
it's
you.
irrelevant.
I have to respect you.
You can't
Listen.
have it both ways.
I have to respect disrespect.
Either you
Look, I
believe
cannot-
in the
I cannot
hadith,
shout back
or
at you.
don't.
Look, I want to say something. Yeah? You're an old uncle. I have to respect you. As a Muslim, I have to respect you. Correct? So I have no problem with you saying you're going to bring evidence next week.
Right.
I have clarified that evidence you speak about is if no
Why
exist.
didn't you tell me that?
Is if no
Why
exist.
didn't you explain
I
this
have.
to me? Why didn't you
Is if-
explain? Why didn't you explain to
I'm
me about
explaining now.
about the sheep?
I'm explaining.
Why did you? Well, give me what?
Now
what,
I'm explaining.
What's it to do
Do you
with
agree
that?
I'm explaining?
Give me the Why? Give me the reference
I'm
and tell me
explaining.
about it.
I'm explaining.
Tell me what happened then.
Would you allow me
Tell
to explain?
Yes,
Would you allow me to
yes,
explain?
yes.
Okay. There is a fabricated narration
Oh,
in Abu Dawud.
fabricated. Now it's fabricated.
In the
It's
okay.
fabricated.
Would you like me to explain or
The
not?
Bible has been changed, but when you ask them for the
yeah,
evidence,
it's
they
irrelevant.
won't
the first
show you.
time. You
Yeah,
don't come
yeah,
in so much.
yeah, yeah,
This is not the first time he's
Yeah,
done
yeah,
this.
it's irrelevant
Every
stuff.
week he comes and says he doesn't have evidence. He'll bring it next time and he doesn't do something.
That's what they always
And
do.
this is false advertising. It's maligning the religion.
Muhammad Amin.
This is
wait,
Islam. This is Islam.
Look. Can you? Okay. You're a Christian.
The
Are you?
cameras
You're Christian,
show
right?
this wonderful Muslim.
You're Christian,
How
yeah?
disgusting.
You're
filthy.
You're Christian, correct? You're a good example for Christianity, yeah?
How
Look,
filthy.
Muhammad,
How filthy his
Muhammad.
mouth is. You see? How filthy his mouth is.
You-
This is Islam for
Wait.
you, brothers.
You have.
This is Islam.
You're a good example for Christianity, okay? You are, right? So can you please explain to me the verse in Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 21, where it says that God is a deceiver? Please.
Right. When you've answered the question about the sheep,
I
which
have.
asked you-
I have.
No,
Would you allow me to finish the sentence?
Yes, of course.
You have said that twice, by the way, yeah? Okay, so I will try to finish the sentence now.
about the sheep.
This narration you mentioned is in Abu
Oh
Dawud.
yeah, it was, you said it was made up.
Is in Abu Dawud and is fabricated, yeah?
Brother-
now finishing this, please answer my question about Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 21, where it mentions that God deceived Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 10 or 12, where it mentions
Do you know
that
I'm a
God
Christian?
deceived
Do you know
Jeremiah
that I'm
again.
a Christian.
I know that I'm asking you, that's why.
Do you know what I believe in?
Yeah, I'm asking you to explain,
I
please.
believe in the
Go
New
ahead.
Testament, brother.
Sure.
That is my gospel.
Sure.
The New Testament.
Okay, let's go to the New Testament.
Why do
You're
you
right.
keep going to the Old
Oh, I
Testament?
agree with you.
You know why?
You're right.
No, I'm going to tell you why.
Tell me why.
Because you've got nothing against the
I'll
New
go to the New
Testament.
Testament.
You
I'll
go to the Old Testament
Sure.
that has been superseded
Sure,
by
sure.
God Emmanuel
Sure.
with us.
Good.
God came
Sure.
to this earth
Sure.
to fulfill the promises
Sure.
and to raise the level of the Ten Commandments
Sure.
to a level that is impossible.
Can
to
I
be.
speak about the New
And
Testament?
yet-
Is that
and
okay?
yet, these poor Muslims
Who revealed the Old
cannot
Testament?
attack Jesus
Wait.
Christ. They only keep attacking things from 4,000 years ago.
All right.
Okay,
Which
okay.
God sent
Keep
down. As
going
moderator,
down.
which
Okay.
God sent
No,
down.
you
As-
got to
hold
Wait,
on, hold on,
wait,
hold on.
wait,
Because you
actually,
don't
wait.
understand
Brother,
the
brother,
Bible.
brother,
You don't
brother.
understand the
Okay,
Bible. It's
as
not the Quran.
moderator,
It's not the Quran.
as moderator.
You see, brothers and
hold on a
sisters.
second.
I'll speak of the
Can
New.
I just say one thing?
I'll speak of the New Testament.
Can I
Is that
just say
okay?
one thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
As moderator, you've made some claims about the Muslims dominating the conversation.
Yes.
Okay. Do you realise that when you shout over people, that is exactly the very thing that you're saying that the Muslims are doing to you?
Yes.
So
Yes,
you're,
but you know
so
why I
you're
do
dominating
it.
the
But you know why I
conversation.
do it. No, not because I'm a hypocrite.
Because you're intellectually weak.
Because I love Muslims, and I want you to see the deception. The deception of these romantic week after week that they do the same thing. They won't answer the question.
Okay. Let me answer the question. Let me answer the question. Let me answer the question. Camera is here. The camera is here. I'm here. I'm here.
You see?
I'll leave the Old Testament. Let's go to the New Testament. Yeah.
Brother,
I have
I'm
read a
gonna
lovely
go
verse.
because we're going to talk.
No. Before you go.
No.
Verse in the New Testament. It's a
I'm
New
going.
Testament.
No.
Yeah. I know now it's time to go now. You don't run. You said you don't run like Hashim and Mansour. What happened?
He needs to go now.
You said Mansour and Hashim they run. You're not like them. You're
Oh,
not going to run.
Shamsi, he's the biggest rabbit of all.
So you're not going to run, are you?
Rabbit.
You're not going to run, right?
I'm not going to run. I'm
Okay.
leaving because
Okay,
I
yeah.
am a free
Okay.
will. I'm
He's just going to
free.
walk quickly.
I'm
Okay,
frightened
sure.
of nobody,
So what-
and
when-
everybody that sees
when-
me in this park
when the
knows
New Testament-
I do not run away.
when the New Testament
and,
says-
and
Yeah.
I will answer any question.
Sure.
I will answer
Last
any
question before you go.
And I don't say,
You
"But
can
what
go.
about the Quran?"
Last
I will
question before
answer
you
the
go.
biblical
Sure.
questions.
Before you go, I'll give you a last question. You said the New Testament, correct? So I'm going to ask you a question about the New Testament. In Timothy, 2 Timothy,
Yeah.
chapter 3, verse 16, Paul
Yeah.
says something very beautiful. Do you know what he says?
Oh, tell me.
He says, all scripture of God
Yeah.
is God-breathed, eternal, useful for rebuking, for all times. Now I want to ask a question here. When you were speaking about the Old Testament, do you agree with Paul that you claim he is receiving revelation from God that the Old Testament is applicable and everything in the Old Testament is applicable. And when Paul was writing this, there was no Gospels. It was not written yet. So he can only refer to the Old Testament. Now my question to you is this. Do you agree with Paul or you say Paul is a liar?
Okay,
Please.
Now I really am going to go, but I'm going to try and
Please.
I'm going to try and
Why don't you talk to him?
I'm going to
He's
try
going to
and
try.
answer.
He's going to
I'm
try.
going to try and
Go ahead.
answer this.
He's
I'm
going to
going to try and
try.
answer.
Please.
I'm going to
Please.
try and answer.
Go ahead, please.
What is the Old Testament? Tell me.
The Old Testament is comprised of books of prophets, the 5 books of Moses and other books, yeah.
It was the 5 books of Moses. It wasn't the rest of it, brother.
Are you
But
talking today
don't
or before?
know- You don't know.
Are you talking today
I'm
or
not
before?
getting into this because
You
this
asked
is a
me why is the
different
why is the Old
subject.
Testament?
We are
Yeah.
talking about Islam.
You're not gonna get into
and
it,
the
right?
deception of
Okay.
Islam.
He doesn't
We
want
are
to talk
talking
about the Bible.
the deception
So we have
of Islam.
concluded that God is
We
a
are
deceiver.
talking about the deception
The God of
Islam.
Christianity is a deceiver.
And let me ask you,
In
brothers.
chapter 7, verse
Why
21,
do you
Jeremiah.
think? Why do you think that this brother is so quick to ask questions about the Bible? But
I
they're
have
so
answered first, by the way.
slow
Before I ask,
to
I
answer
answered.
the questions about the Quran.
I think you need to.
Why?
I think.
They
Hold
call
on.
me.
I think the brother, you need to apologize to him for
Yeah,
dominating the question.
I'm sorry. I'm very sorry.
Yeah?
I'm very sorry.
You've dominated this argument.
I'm very sorry. I apologize.
You've been
humbly.
shouting
you.
and you've been
I'll
screaming,
forgive you.
right? And you've not allowed him to speak. You've been
right.
speaking
forgive you.
over him. You've
Thank
been
you.
addressing everybody else and shouting
Of
and
course.
screaming. You need
Because
to apologize.
I love these
for
people.
dominating
They
the
are my
for the
brothers and
discussion.
sisters. But they
Please
are
don't do that
deceived.
again.
Humbly-
They are
humbly-
deceived
Please
by
don't do that again.
Humbly, I will let you. I will let you go. I will let you go humbly.
They are leading you to hell.
I believe-
because they deceive you. They know the truth of the Quran, but they want to hold their position. And if you want to understand this, go to the Bible and read about the Pharisees.
Jeremiah
Read about the
7:21.
Pharisees. The Pharisees. These people that are the experts of your law are just like the Pharisees.
And they say
Go
they,
and see
they,
Mansour.
they love
brother,
everybody.
brother.
They love everybody. They love everyone. They turn the other cheek. And this is the love and this is the compassion. And the turning of the other cheek.
Again, brothers
You know,
and
it's
sisters.
hypocrisy.
Again, this
Real
brother
hypocrisy.
does not know what love is. Sometimes you
Just
have to
shouting
scold
and
people
screaming.
if you love them. Sometimes you have to say to them, you mustn't do that. You're going to hurt yourself. You're going to hurt
You
yourself.
have to remain
right?
with good manners, don't you?
No, because you won't listen to good
you don't
manners.
have to.
Not with you.
You mustn't have etiquette.
Because you're a deceiver.
You mustn't have
You're a
manners.
deceiver. You slagged off a woman.
Yeah.
You tore into her. Then, in
I
your
understand.
summary,
Yes.
you said that she was attacking you personally. She never attacked you personally. She
hold on.
showed you the
Shall I-
hadith
shall-
and asked you
Shall
to
I
answer,
Shall I
but you wouldn't
that?
answer.
Shall I answer that?
You see, how
Shall I-
can you be?
Are you going to
called a
give me an
deceiver?
opportunity to answer?
Well, only if you don't take too long, brother.
First of all, I will not have a discussion with Hatun or with Bob the Builder. And I'll tell you why.
Because they wiped the
I'll
floor
tell
with
you
you.
why.
But
See, look,
he's just chosen
you
the
said
two
you'd allow me to
experts.
answer.
He's
You said-
just chosen
you
the
said you-
two
you said-
experts
you
in this
said-
part.
you said you'd allow me to
Wipe
answer.
the floor with them.
You said
Wipe the
hold
floor
on.
with them.
You
Wipe
said-
the
Do
floor.
you,
They
do you
know
have
that
anger
you're
issues?
wrong.
Do you have anger issues?
You
Okay,
said
so
I'm
you
not
you
angry.
allow
Can
me
you
to
relax
I'm
answer.
not angry. I'm not angry.
You look angry.
You
So
said you'd
relax.
allow me to
look like
answer.
you
Look relax. If you don't have anger issues, allow him to
You
finish.
said you'd allow me to answer.
Brother, do you not see how he's trying
You
to deceive
said
you?
I see him trying to speak. You don't
He's
allow him to
deceiving
speak.
Can I
That's what I
answer the
see.
question?
He's deceiving
Can I
people.
answer your claim?
I don't take
I haven't asked you a
I don't take
question.
my religion from
I
him.
haven't
He
asked
cannot
him a
deceive me.
question.
You did.
I haven't asked
You
him a
said
question.
you'd let me talk.
But
Can I
haven't
talk?
asked him a question.
And I'm dominating
No.
the
I'm not asking
Let
him
me
a
speak.
discussion.
Let me speak. Look, I'll tell you something. Can you spend 10 minutes without shouting?
I can. But why does he need to
He
be
doesn't
your
shout.
moderator?
He doesn't
why
shout.
Why does he need to
He
be
doesn't
your
shout. Do
moderator?
you agree with him as
Can
a
I
He's
moderator?
already proven himself to be the
I
deceiver.
had the
I
other
want to
Christian,
answer
but he
your
left.
question.
Proved himself
That's
to be a
fine.
deceiver.
That's fine.
The other Christian who was being a moderator, he left. I was looking for him, he left.
Okay.
Right? So I had to go back to Abbas, yeah? Abbas is the only thing he's doing is he's explaining himself of the
But
accusations
it's
that
all
you...
about him.
Sure.
Do you not understand it's all about him?
It's okay. Can you
understand it's all about
can you let
You
him
made it about me.
finish and demonstrate to all of us how is it only about him?
I'm not
Can you do that?
here about trying to
Why are
win
you here?
points.
Why are
I'm
you
not
here?
here to win points.
Tell me why you're here.
I'm here.
Can
that
I answer that
Muslims will see
accusation?
the deception
Can I
by the
answer the
people here
accusation?
that are supposed to be your
Are you gonna
leaders,
allow me to
but will
answer the
not
accusation?
Answer a question.
Okay, he's trying to
are you
answer.
going to allow
He's
me
trying
to-
to answer.
I'll
Please,
deal
10
with
minutes,
that
no
accusation.
shouting. 10 minutes, no shouting.
I will not debate with Hatun or with Bob the Builder or that ilk. And there's a reason for that. Because in Islam, we're told that stay away from people who are jahil, ignorant, people who are foul-mouthed, have no manners, they have no decorum.
The brother,
have no
the
decorum.
brother was.
Shouting.
Hang on,
Back to shouting.
hang on.
You're back to shouting.
All the
no
people that
respect.
are watching
Can
this,
I finish?
there was a
I
Muslim
finish?
brother here
It's 1
that
minute.
was saying the most disgusting
finish?
things
You're
to
back
me.
to shouting.
Hang on,
You're back to
there was a
shouting.
Muslim brother standing
won't let me
behind me
finish.
saying the
He's
most
wrong.
disgusting
He's
things
wrong.
to me. He was wrong.
He was
Okay,
wrong.
Yeah,
okay.
we
Now,
agree that
you
he's wrong.
Hang on,
You
you're
condemn
all
Hatun.
listening to this
You
on
condemn
camera.
Hatun. You
He
condemn
was
Hatun.
wrong. He was wrong.
Let me finish.
You condemn
Did this
Hatun.
brother
Let me finish.
reprimand him?
Let me finish.
Which one of you Muslims
Do you?
told him to
Do you?
stop?
I was not there.
I don't even know
I
who
was
you're
not
talking
there.
about.
Exactly.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
Do you condemn Hatun?
I don't even
Do you
know who
say?
you're talking about.
Do you say Hatun?
But in any case,
Do
let
you
me
say?
finish.
Do you
Let me
condemn
finish.
Hatun as well?
Let me finish my point.
Do you condemn Hatun? Do you say she was wrong like I said he was wrong?
Let me
Do you
finish my
condemn
point.
Bob the Builder? Thank you very much. He said yes.
Hang on.
Okay, Hatun at least. You
I've
condemn
sometimes
Hatun.
said to her you could put that in a different way.
Right,
But there is a
okay,
language
that's
barrier.
good, that's good.
There
I
is a
respect that.
language
I
barrier.
respect that.
There is a language barrier
Okay.
we had to.
Sure.
You
So,
see, brothers,
let me just finish my
brothers,
point.
Some of you
Let me just
think
finish
I'm
my point.
aggressive. I am not.
Can I just finish
I
my
am
point?
not aggressive.
If you're
I
shouting
love
at people, that is
all.
aggressive.
I'm here.
Can
to
I just
defend
shout? Can I just
freedom,
finish my point?
And I'm also here that you may be.
Can you allow him a freedom to finish his
Can I
point?
just finish my point?
Yeah, but
Can
he's
you allow-
always finishing a point, brother.
You don't- you don't allow him.
me.
You don't allow him.
You allow me like 10 seconds. So I will not debate and I will not discuss
Are
with
you still on
people
about not
who
debating?
don't
He's
have-
still on about
because
not
That
you've
was your
made-
question to him.
because
That was
you
your
made
question
an
to him.
accusation. Allow me to finish.
You're going to be quick because I really do want to go. I want to do a pee now.
That's fine. Let me finish.
Go on, but don't be taking too long.
I will not discuss with these people because they don't have etiquette, they don't have manners in the past.
Sorry, you were slagging off Hatun.
Again,
It's
but
not-
you were slagging off
Abbas,
Hatun.
Abbas,
You
Abbas.
were rubbishing
Why
on.
are you staying
You were
calm?
slagging off
Abbas.
because you're a
Let's
liar, a
listen to them.
deceiver.
Let me finish.
You've
You've
got
got
to
to
speak
no
the
point.
truth.
Okay, you know
There's no
what?
point.
You know
Truth.
what?
No point.
You know what? Go and have your pee.
Yeah,
Go.
you see?
Go.
You see? I
Go
will.
and- go and
You
have
see,
your pee.
brother? Because
Go and have your
Look,
pee.
brother.
what he says is
Sure.
completely
Go
opposite
and
to
have your
what
pee.
he's been
Look,
doing.
brother,
I'm losing
he's
patience, honestly.
And with a
Go and
woman,
have your pee.
he's rubbishing a woman.
I'll be honest with you. I'll be
slagging her
honest
off,
with you. I'll be
slandering
honest with you.
have
her.
a
I'll be honest with you.
And all
Now-
she was doing was asking
Now,
you a sensible
we have had a conversation.
Sensible conversation.
I have tried to answer. Would you agree I have tried to answer your questions? You said you're going to bring evidence next week. Would you agree with that
Well,
so
I
far?
would say you've been deceptively answering it.
Thank you very much. So I have been deceptively answering your
I'm being
questions.
honest.
Wait.
I'm being honest.
Okay,
I
sure,
won't
sure,
take
sure.
nonsense.
You're a
sure.
very honest man.
And
Yes, I won't take nonsense.
what was happening here?
From you people.
What was happening here
Yes,
was
because you're all
Whatever
you
that
go
means.
to the
What was-
mosque and you're told what to say.
Oh, now
And
he-
they all
now he
come
knows
here,
what we're told at the
"Thank
mosque."
God,
Have you
have
been
a
to the
son.
mosque? Have you been to the
Dead
mosque?
Mary,
Do you have any-
asked the
Have you been
same
to any
Do you have
mosque?
any evidence to that?
Have you been to any mosque before?
Yeah.
No, but he thinks.
What happens inside? What happens inside? Sure. Now, look, just finishing this
yeah,
point,
yeah,
right?
yeah, go on.
What I have seen here is a shouting match from
God.
yourself,
Yeah.
not allowing other people to speak. You
Oh,
might
I'm
have
not
your.
allowed- I'm
you
not
might-
allowing you to speak, brother. You mustn't
Yes,
say
right now you are. I agree with you.
And
right
before,
now.
and before.
A little bit, yes. I would agree. now,
hard to
let's
get
let's end this conversation on a peaceful note.
On a peaceful note.
I don't think you're a bad person, but I
you
think
very
you
much.
have a wrong conception of Islam. That's why you feel that you have to push it away. That's okay. That's your opinion. You're entitled. Wait. You're entitled to your opinion. I respect you as an elder person. Let's finish this in a peaceful way,
Okay.
peaceful manner. So
I'm gonna
people don't
ask-
say, look, Christians and Muslims are fighting over religion. Let's end it in a peaceful manner, right?
Right.
And we end this humbly by a handshake.
God bless you.
Thank
Listen
you very
to
much
me.
for your
First
time.
and foremost,
No
I'm going to say
problem.
two things.
Yeah.
Firstly,
Yes.
you're in my prayers every day.
Yeah.
Secondly,
No problem.
secondly,
Yes.
But you're a deceiver.
I came asking a question. A question.
Yes.
A sensible question.
Yes. I
about
tried to answer,
breastfeeding.
right?
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
I came asking a sensible question about breastfeeding. Surely I deserve an answer. Even the brother that's left said he's asked a sensible question.
You do.
So-
I tried to answer a question, but
Yes.
you didn't give me an answer, even though I
Brother,
deserve one
you
as
were
well.
being a bit
No,
deceptive
but he'll
there.
bring you evidence
You were a bit
next week. Don't worry. He'll bring you lots of evidence. Yeah, we will
Look,
discuss
next time,
Okay,
bring
okay.
your evidence,
Yeah.
and we have a nice discussion. Yeah, pleasure
God
talking
bless
to you.
God
We'll
bless
see you around.
I
No
still
problem.
love you.
I'm sure you do.
I do.
I can tell.
And I'm going to
I
tell
can
you
see
this.
it.
And if I say
I
something,
can see
mean
it
it.
with the interaction.
No.
I can see the warmth
No.
coming from you.
Yes. And I'm going
I
to tell
see
you
the
what I tell
humanity, the
all
humility,
people.
the humanity.
If you ever see me and you need help,
Yes.
you come to me first.
Oh, thank you very much. I really
And
do
I mean
appreciate that. Yes.
Thank you very much.
I could
See you
really
around.
feel the love. I really felt the love. I mean, it was
Just
amazing.
because I love you doesn't mean I don't want to give you a spank.
No, that's
you.
right. Yeah.
See you. Thank
Because
you very
think
much.
I like that sort of thing,
We'll
but
see you
I
around.
don't. Okay,
We'll see you
let me
around.
just round up if you don't mind.
Conclude this.
The reason why I will not have a discussion with Hatun, with Bob the Builder and these people is because they show a complete lack of manners and decorum. And Islam should not be something that you discuss with people where people don't have manners and decorum to deal with things respectfully. We don't have to agree. We can emphatically and passionately disagree about things. That's fine. But we have to maintain our dignity and offer the other person the dignity to believe whatever they want to believe with respect. We don't have to necessarily respect the beliefs, but we have to respect the individual. And these people have showed time and time again that unless you're prepared to drag yourself into the gutter and have a dirty discussion in the depths of the gutter, you can't have any discussions. You have to be able to shout the loudest, speak the loudest to have a discussion. This is not the way of a Muslim. And Muslims should not behave like that. So that's why I will not have a discussion with these people. I think Imam Shafi rahmatullahi alayhi said that the Muslim and the Christian who are debating should worry less about who is right and worry more about how far they have moved away from the teachings of their prophets. Is that correct, brother?
I personally cannot affirm or negate that.
Right.
This personal quote.
Right.
But what Imam Shafi'i has said, he said, every time I have debated someone, I wish that Allah shows the haqq in his hand.
Right.
So Imam Shafi'i was not looking to show the haqq in his hand,
Right.
but he wanted the haqq to show in the other person's
Right.
hand. Now, another interesting, very, very interesting point that we should take, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands us in the Quran, both in chapter 4 and chapter 6, that if we see people who are insulting Islam, insulting the Prophet, insulting the religion, that we walk away from them.
Exactly.
That is the behavior that we do. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says also in chapter 6 that we should not curse those who believe in other than Allah. So we should not curse them, we should not stay in their presence, we should walk away from them, right? And the last most important point is to the viewers. I know he had some mannerisms, he had some way of propagating himself, but I believe we should not curse him in the comments. I believe we should not attack his person in the comments. If you guys want to leave a comment, leave something about the arguments, something positive. This is what the Prophet Muhammad said. He said, let him say good or remain silent. So that's what we should do as Muslims. Please do not attack him. That's fine. He has his own way. He's an old person. We need to respect him. And let's focus on the arguments rather than focusing on the people. You know?
So, brother, going back to the arguments that were being made,
sure.
You clarified that the hadith in question does not instruct a grown woman to breastfeed a grown man. That hadith is not saying that.
So the hadith that he was asking about first, about the sheep or the goat eating, this hadith talks about the ayah of rajm, right? It's completely a different topic. This hadith is weak. It exists in Sunan Abu Dawud. That's the first point. The second point, the breastfeeding point, was for someone alone who is called Salim. Salim used to live in the house. They were in comfortable covering every time he's coming in and out. So Prophet Muhammad ﷺ instructed them to give him milk in a cup, in order for him to drink, and then he becomes mahram to them. That was only for one of the wives of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, for none else, and Aisha clearly reports. She says, وَمَا كَانَ ذَلِكَ إِلَّا لِسَالِمٍ. And that was not for anyone except Salim himself, right? We can pick narrations and pick and choose and cherry pick from everywhere. That's an easy thing to do, right? But if you, as Muslims, we take everything holistically. We bring every narration dealing with this topic, and us scholars have answered this ages ago. These things, these doubts, Muslims might think it's new. These things exist in our tradition, in our books, thousands of years ago. It's been answered by us scholars. It's nothing new, but these people coming here, they have a hatred for Islam. So they are trying to attack Islam in any way. They are trying to come to people who don't have knowledge about certain something, and they start asking that person about it. They start attacking him about it. I believe we should have fruitful conversations. If I don't know, I would say I don't know. If you don't know, you should say you don't know. And we should end always on a positive note. We should try at least, you know?
That's right.
Inshallah,
Inshallah, alhamdulillah.
And you can finish, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah. And that's a very, very important message to the brothers who are, inshallah, viewing, the sisters that are viewing. We have to maintain the way that we do dawah, the way that we present ourselves in accordance to what the best example for us was, which is the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and how Allah has told us to do it. To get angry, to get abusive with people, this is not our way. So as a recommendation to myself as well, and to the brothers and sisters, let's maintain calmness. Let's deal with things in an academic way, in a sensible way. And as the brothers described and explained, that when you are in a situation where somebody is clearly abusing Islam, abusing the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, that we should not give them a platform to A, do more sin, and B, engage in a conversation where we might utter something that will be displeasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let's maintain our composure. Let's inshallah become knowledgeable. When Hatun brought that hadith to me, I didn't know about it. So it was wrong for me to try to answer something that I have no knowledge about. That's why I went to the brother and said, look, brother, this is the hadith that's been quoted. It's better that somebody of knowledge deal with it. And that's one of the wonderful things in the park, that we get sometimes new things arising and coming up, and it becomes our learning curve as well. We don't profess to know everything. I'm not a professional da'i who knows everything. We do what we do to our capacity. What is beyond our capacity, inshallah, we find somebody else to advise us, to help us, to teach us. And really, that's my message. Assalamu alaikum.